This is the video for the Zutter Kutter, basic assembly and blade replacement instructions. The Zutter Kutter is a heavy-duty cutting tool that will cut chipboard, Zutter clipboard wood, Zutter canvas, as well as stacks of cardstock. When you get it right out of the box, it does have a few basic parts and components that you'll need to assemble. When you open your Zutter Kutter box, there'll be a small packet with some small pieces. The first piece will be the pink plastic sleeve. This will fit on the stem of the stabilizing knob. Slip it over the stem and screw the knob into the hole at the very back of the Zutter Kutter. Screw it nice and tight. This will be the stabilizing knob that you'll use to hold onto to provide the proper grip and leverage when you're using the cutter. Next, you'll see that you have two small pieces called bushings. These bushings are to be replaced underneath the locking levers. Chances are you'll never need to replace these bushings, but if your levers do become sticky or rough to open and close, you will want to replace them, and they fit right underneath the locking levers. So set those aside and keep them in a safe place. You'll also notice that you have the metal paper stop guide, and it slides in on the ruler on either side of the Zutter Kutter. This will assist you in measuring your materials as you cut, and it can go left-right depending on what you're cutting and your left or right hand orientation. You may even find that you cut without the paper stop guide in place at all. And you'll also get a small Allen wrench. For blade replacement, you'll also need a small screwdriver that's not included. To start blade replacement, you're going to start with the short end of your Allen wrench for leverage and apply it to the screw in the blade carriage. You'll need a couple of good turns with the short end and then switch to the long end of the Allen wrench, and here you'll provide several turns of the screw to remove it completely from that blade carriage. Remove the screw completely and set it aside. Keep it in a safe place because you'll need it to close the blade carriage when you're complete. From here, open the blade carriage to reveal the blade. You'll use the short end of the Allen wrench again and then switch to the long end again to remove the screw in the actual blade holding plate. With the small screwdriver, give a little nudge to the blade itself in the locking mechanism. From here, you'll want to squeeze the handle of the blade carriage slightly to kind of move the blade carriage up out of the way of the housing, just to clear that space so you can lift the blade out easily. Making sure to only hold the plastic part of the blade, not the metal part. Lift the blade out of the carriage. Now you can see what we're looking for here is the blade itself. The blades are the top portions of the piece that you're holding, not the bottom. Now the blade is double-sided, so on your first blade replacement you simply need to flip the blade around and turn it. It may be helpful the first time you do this to use a permanent marker to mark the blade that's used, so you know that you've used one side. With your new blade or your flipped blade, place it back into the blade holder using just your finger onto the plastic part of the blade. Push it down and use your screwdriver again to lock it into place. You can even use your screwdriver to make sure it's aligned so you can see where exactly the screw will go back in. Using your Allen wrench, place the screw back into the blade holder. Start with the long end of the Allen wrench to give it several twists, and then as it becomes more snug, switch to the short end of the Allen wrench to provide that extra leverage for some extra tight turns. You want it to be secure in that housing. From here, just release the lever and bring the blade carriage back into the original starting position. And simply repeat the steps in reverse for replacing the screw for the blade carriage. Start with the long end of the Allen wrench and give it several twists until it tightens. And when it becomes nice and snug, switch to the shorter end of the Allen wrench to apply the proper leverage to make that secure and tight. And your blade replacement is complete.